Hey everyone, it's Lindsay here today, and I am going to share with you how you can create and place a watermark with Photoshop elements. Now this is really helpful for anyone that makes cards, takes photos, and puts your pictures online. This allows you to watermark your photo so nobody can claim it as their own. So the first thing I do is I go into Photoshop Elements and I open up a brand new document by clicking Control N. Now I'm going to go ahead and have my preset as web. I'm going to go ahead and use one of these sizes from the web selection, and then I want to make sure that my background content is transparent. Then I can click OK. This is going to bring up a new document. It's going to look completely different to your normal white background one. You've got this gray and white checked background that is a transparent background. So I'm going to use my text tool here, and I like to keep my watermarks very, very simple. So I put the copyright symbol, which is Alt 0169, and then I just type out my blog name, which is Crafting While Caffeinated. I'm going to make this as long as my project is here, and then I can go ahead and crop around this. Now if you wanted to, you could add any shapes you wanted to. You could not use your blog name, you could use your name. I just like to use my blog name here. You can insert a drawing of your own onto this. All you need to do is scan it and bring it into Photoshop Elements. You can do quite a few things with this. So here you can see I can add different shapes behind this. I'll go ahead and show you just a quick little thing I did here. So I typed out Crafting While Caffeinated. I'll go ahead and go up into my shape tool here, and I'll just enter a little talk bubble behind it and drag that shape out to fill up the entire thing. I can change the colors in this to white, pink, brown, whatever kind of goes along with the theme of your blog or whatever you feel in the mood to do. So once I have that on there, now I'll go and change that color to white, and I also need to bring up my text above that so it shows up in front of my actual talk bubble and you can see the text. So once I have that in, I'm going to go ahead and flatten this out. But you don't want to flatten it out the normal way. Whenever you click flatten image, you're going to change your background to white that way. So what you want to do is go to one of your layers here, right click on it, and then click merge visible. That's just going to combine your two layers together and make them one. Now if you wanted to, you could also change your opacity at this point, make it a little bit more see-through by just going up, make sure you're on your layer, go up to your opacity tool, and then just bring it down a little bit. Then you can save this, and when you bring it into your photo, you don't have to change it at all. I personally like to leave mine at 100% opacity. If I need to go in and change that, I can do that on the actual picture. You can also change this and do whatever type of font you want on your copyright symbol here, or your blog name or name, whatever you want to do. Just make sure that it is easy to read. A lot of times on the internet, whenever you go to a picture, somebody can take it from Pinterest, they can post it to another board, they can post it to a forum, and a lot of link backs just end up not linking back to your blog. If you have your copyright symbol down there with your blog name or with your name, somebody can go into Google, just type that in, they'll be able to find you and find your original post without having to go through 100 link backs. So once I have this exactly where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and go in and crop this down so it is just around my watermark. So I've got my crop image or my crop tool here, and I have no restriction on this, so I can put it right up against my copyright Crafting While Caffeinated. So I'll go ahead and go up and just really bring this in nice and close to it, so I'm not going to have any extra space when I go and I drop this into one of my pictures. So whenever I go to save this, I want to make sure I save this with a transparent background. So I need to go ahead and name this. I'm just going to name it New Watermark very quickly, and I have a complete separate folder for all my watermarks. And then I want to save as type. I want to save it as a PNG. This is going to maintain that transparent background. and that is what you want, because if you go in and you don't have a transparent background and you load this into a picture of your card, you're going to have a big white rectangle in there where your copyright should be, and you don't want that. So now I've pulled up a picture here, and this is just one of my title cards that I make for my videos, and I'm going to go ahead and go up to the file. I've clicked place, I went in, I found my new watermark, and then I can choose it and click place. That's going to bring in that watermark. I've got a completely transparent background, so there's no white rectangle where I want it to be. And then I can go ahead and resize this to whatever size I need it to be. Now, when placing your watermark on your photo, I like to put it to where it's not going to be that easy to crop it out. Now, at this point, if I wanted to, I could go up to that layer, and on the opacity of that layer, I can bring it down to make it a little bit more transparent. That's why I like to leave my watermarks completely at 100%, because when you go and drop them in, you can always change it if you need to later on. So once I have that dropped in and I've got it to where I want it, I'll go ahead and flatten the image, and then I can go ahead and save this as my JPEG. And there I've got my watermark on my photo, and I've got it saved. And then when I upload it to the internet, it's not as easy for people to pull off as their own. If you want more information on this process, you can head over to my blog, craftingwhilecaffeinated.wordpress.com. That link is in the description box below. I will also have a link to where you can download Adobe Photoshop Elements directly from Amazon. It is not an affiliate link. I just think it's a great program to use, and if you want to try it for 30 days, you can head to the Adobe Photoshop Elements website. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and happy crafting.